Hi, I'm going to show you some of the techniques or the things that I do to fix up vintage stereo cabinets. This is an Acoustic Research AR11. I am super fortunate to have thrifted, stumbled across this. You can see though it's had its day. That's the bottom, so that's been pretty totaled. The sides have some staining, but I love the natural walnut. And there's the top. It's usually pretty bad, but you know what? I mean, all things considered, considering we're talking 1976, this isn't so bad. I've had worse. But when I assess a project like this, I have to ask myself, just how far can I go? And I get to redefine just what I'm going to consider what is good enough. These are AR11s. They've had a lot of experiences, so what we're going to end up with is something a little better than the current situation, but we're certainly not going back to its original state. So I'm going to show you some of the products that I use and just how I apply it. I'm a pretty regular guy when I do this stuff, so I don't get too fancy. This is not a reveneering, this is just a refinishing. So I'm just doing this in a November morning, and so what I use for something refinishing this walnut, got some microfibers and some steel wool if I need it, cotton, old track pants, and this is actually just a mix of olive oil, water, and vinegar, and I sprayed that on to scrub it before I clean. I got some mineral spirits if needed, and then the always renowned, always recognized in the audiophile community, Howard's Restor-a-Finish or Restoration Finish. This is Howard's product. So I have used the mahogany, the walnut, and the golden oak in different ways. I find for most audio gear, the golden oak and the walnut are the go-tos. These are my good enough approaches to fixing stuff up. They certainly do a great job, and if you're not going to be doing a full reveneer or getting into more serious wood refinishing, these will get you 80% there, and honestly, I'm very impressed with them. I had difficulty tracking them down because I'm in Toronto, but when I use them, I get results. So you're going to see some of that. So this is the base of the cabinet. It's, you know, the base. It's not going to be seen a lot. Deep scratches in the veneer. You know, it's stained. There's paint. There's cement. There's garbage. You know, just even pitting. So I just grab a dirty old rag. This is just an old microfiber. You know, and I keep them. I get them dirty and then I wash a bunch of them. Just in the driveway. I don't go ruining the washing machine. Anyhow, I've got water, vinegar, olive oil, mixed equal parts. Spray it on. Citrusy. This part of the cabinet I'm not overly concerned about being gentle with, considering it's just the bottom. In fact, it's in such bad shape in the future, maybe I end up painting it. But let's just see how things work with olive oil, water, and vinegar. And honestly, kind of impressed, right? You're certainly not going to be getting out color stains and wood. In the wood, like maybe that's paint or something else, but yeah. You could also drag a straight razor across that, or just like a X-Acto knife, which I probably should do. See if I can scrape off some of the grunge. Let's do that. Little straight razor. Naturally, this would also scrape off any finish reserve that was left, but I think that's long gone. Yuck. certainly gives you an idea of the state of it. So that helps temper one's expectations. So let's just take a little steel wool, rub it on this, open up the grains, and try to scrape down or scratch off some of the more deeper marks on this. I'm starting on the bottom because this is a great way to learn how the situation, how this cabinet's going to respond or look when I get onto the sides and the top. Usually the bottoms and the tops are the worst for wear, so it helps temper your expectations. Also, if you are going to use steel wool on your speaker cabinets, ensure that you have removed all your components. The metal or the steel on this steel wool will get attracted to your magnets on your speakers, and then honestly, you probably just ruined your speakers after that, particularly if you're doing like with something vintage. So remove everything, strip it down. So now that I've prepared this part, the bottom part of these Acoustic Research AR11s, mid-70s speakers, they are primo. Cleaned it up with olive oil, vinegar, water, little elbow grease scraping. I mean, looks nicer, but if you get up close, you can certainly see it's seriously scratched and pitted. I'm not going to worry too much of that because this is the bottom. But the real magic happens with Howard's products here. I'm going to be using the walnut. I'm going to put it on a microfiber cloth and rub it in. This is basically it restores the faded wood finishes because it's got a dye in it, it's got a stain in it, and it also has sort of a I guess a chemical to help permeate the grains as well, and gives it a nice finish. This is just a good product to use in a project just like this. So this gets you going, and it can certainly make a finished project or finished effort really enjoyable. So let's see how this works out. Let's start. Give it a shake. Get the top off. Got this little lid here, which is a nice feature, I'll tell you that. So you can see it's stained, it's got a color to it. Let's see how it looks. Start in this corner here. Just two small applications to this area here. You can see after it's been applied, this is before and this is after. Fills in the scratches, mimics the color, and any indentation, it sort of mimics, or it hides that a bit. It's not heavy in color. It doesn't indicate the dents. Some stains will get into a dent and it'll become a darker spot. This is less. This doesn't do that to the same degree. Small amount of change. Let me zoom out for you guys, for everybody. There you go. This half is done. This half I will do now, and I'm going to be pretty happy. I'm happy with that. That's Howard's Restor-a-Finish in walnut. I've had success using the walnut and then going over it with the golden oak, which up here in Canada we got a lot of oak products, and tables and stuff, and I've used it on that with great success. There you go. Give you the blue glove up. Hey, hey. Not bad. I'm happy with that. Now I'll get on to moving on to the rest of the speaker cabinet. So, if you haven't tried Howard's, and it's got my recommendation. Oh, by the way, I don't know. I'm not sponsored by any of this or anything. It's just my thing. But yeah, it's a good product. Working on the side here. Looks like it got some paint in the grain. Steel wool. A little bit of Howard's. Makes a big difference. Most of the time. That came right off. This one, not so much. A little more elbow grease. I'm going to continue with the application of the Howards on the side of these speakers. These beautiful Acoustic Research AR11s. Fantastic rare find. So happy to have them. So really revitalize them. You can see the difference as I'm applying it. That looks starting to look really great. Beautifully, much more lush. Take a towel. A little pressure. Wipe it in there. Wow. Being careful to not get stuck on the veneer, because this stuff's you know, it's older, right? So take a good enough approach. If you aim for perfection with vintage gear, you will you might be more frustrated than happy. Nice. Jeez, I really hope that's the side that I see when I get these things hooked up. Nicely done. Hope you find this helpful.